Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too so you don't miss on the next episode of Fort Prairie, an Alberta themed city. Welcome back to the channel. Last episode on Monday, we improved the connectivity of the area. We built a bypass, we built a couple underpasses, some bridges, some improved road connections, and this is actually one of the bypasses right over here. This is the tunnel that leads from the highway, and I don't know if we're going to get to it, but we built a bypass out over here. So what we're going to be doing in today's episode, well, we are going to be looking at adding some residential in the city because we have so much demand for it, and it's about time. There's been a couple episodes in a row where we haven't really even touched residential. So I want to add in some high density housing in the city. However, I really don't want the buildings to be that large. So we're going to be doing something that I like to call medium density building, which isn't in the game, but you can kind of do it using the district policy called high-rise ban. So what you're doing though is you're going to cap the buildings at a height, but you're also capping them at a level. So it's you're not going to get as much tax revenue out of it, unfortunately. At least I believe that's how it happens. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. And by kind of using medium density, you can create like a good transition area. You can also create a theme of like an older style as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. I don't want these towns that we've been building to become metropolises. We're just kind of starting in the suburbs of our region, and then we'll be building the downtown later on in a couple weeks. So let's hop out and let's take a look at what we did last week, and then we'll talk about how we're going to approach this week. Or week. We're in the same week, last episode. So we're going to add in high density in this area over here, mainly around the train lines over in here, maybe redo some zoning. At the end of last episode, we started redoing some zoning over in this area because it's a bit noisy, so gotta fix that a little bit. So that's what we'll be doing today as a primary focus, and then we'll also do a bus station out over here in the farm area as we expand and do other regional builds. This will become like a hub that will then cycle people into the city, and obviously the city at large over here. So what did we do last week, or yesterday, Monday? Oh my gosh. We built this road connection into the city. We also extended it out to connect to this road here, which is going to be quite the major street in the city. We also built this bypass right here, and we changed this area up a little bit, and we did a couple other small things around the city. So let's start with the high density building because we have so much high density or dense residential demand, and we have this space. I've kind of left it open a little bit because I want to do a couple things with it. It's going to be an interesting little mix of industry and residential. It's been a challenge in this series is I'm trying to not use as much commercial in this town. I don't know if maybe some of you picked up on it. I guess I never really talked about that. I'm trying to keep the commercial limited in this area because I really want to make sure that there's enough high density or enough commercial demand for the downtown core. So we're going to be trying to do that, but you know, there is still a sufficient amount of commercial activity, as you can see with the blue. But there's a lot more yellow than we currently even have demand for. So that's why we need to add in some high density. So like I mentioned, we need to create medium density. So we're going to go into the district of Greenberg, which as you can see is right in here. Then we also have this area over here, Prairie Station. So I think both of them I'm going to put, Greenberg's town limits aren't really defined yet. But we're going to add in the district theme. So that's actually through this tab, theme, city policy. There we go. High-rise ban. So ban high-rise buildings. Restricts buildings from being upgraded to the highest levels. Prohibits construction of tall buildings. Restricts the buildings from reaching their highest level. So unfortunately, we're not going to get level 5 high-density buildings. However, we're going to be able to get a pretty cool style. And in a way, we're also going to be getting more taxes than we normally would because we're adding more people in the city. So we're going to add that to Greenberg. There we go. Then we're going to click Prairie Station, and we'll be doing the same thing. Let's see if there's anything else we can add to Prairie Station while we're at it. Because Yeah, no, I think we're good, actually. We'll leave it for now. Okay, so we got the high-rise ban. Let's start with some rezoning. No, let's start with adding in zoning. So right in here is kind of like our industry rectangle about, kind of. Last episode we also revised these streets into one-ways. So what I'm thinking is right in here we're gonna get some warehouses. So how we're gonna do this without, you know, really blocking up this road here, because this road's is really important. You know, all the trucks come through here. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna find the building spawn point, or at least watch for the trucks. So the trucks go in right here, so we don't really need to find the spawn point for the building. So I want to get the next road a bit over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it in, and we'll make it like a bit of a cul-de-sac. And we'll get some warehouses along here. So let's go with the industry road. We're gonna go for the 1U industry road, and we'll plop it right here, right in front of the building. Maybe a bit farther down. Yeah. Let's turn node snapping off because I don't really want it to snap. Oh, maybe not. Let's plop it down there, and then let's just drag it out to that point. And then I'm just going to hold Alt down so I can bring it to about there. And then I'm going to turn node snapping off now. And we'll bring it out right to here. So cars will probably be using this area to turn. Let's just make sure all the heights are okay and matching the other roads. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at this. So it looks like they can stay in this lane to go straight, or they can stay in the lane to go down in here. And then it looks like over here, they can only go back onto this side. So that's great because it is a one-way street. So what do we really need out over here? Well, we're going to need to add some warehouses. And we're going to go with the small warehouses over here. And what I'm thinking is we really have a problem with maintaining flour. But, oh, see, it was on fill. We got to put these on empty now, I think. Wait, hold on. I think balance is probably the way to go now. So the reason why I'm kind of thinking about this is because we used to have a mod in the city. And what it did, I forget the name of it right now. We talked about it last episode. It basically improves the industry, how the industries work in this area, or in the city. So more effective transfer mod, that's the name. Anyway, so there's a newer version of it. The older one was depreciated. It doesn't really work that well anymore from my understanding. However, the newer one, you need to remove it if you still have it. It's the continued version of it. It has continued in the name. Remove it. It apparently isn't good. It has some naughty things attached to it. I think it's malware. I don't know. Anyways, so always beware when you download mods. Anyway, so that is no longer in the city. So I don't know how what the standard practice is anymore, because it used to be you put fill on the warehouses near the factories. But I think nowadays it's just to leave it at balanced if we don't have that in our city at the moment. So we're gonna put flour on this one. Let's make sure the building spawn point is over here. There we go. And then we're gonna get some other warehouses. That's not where the warehouses are, Steven. We could go with this giant one. That actually fits. No, it doesn't fit. Let's go with this one right down in here. And we'll move it to the end. We'll say get to the same height as that. Maybe a bit higher. And then we could just fill this in with a yard. It actually doesn't look too bad. I was worried that with the heights it was going to look a little bit silly, but no, I think it looks pretty good. So let's do this. So I know that we have flour already on the other side near the factory. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get them to ship it into here as well, because I'm worried that with this factory, I guess we can actually look at that. So they are shipping it. So I guess what I can do is I can put this one on fill because it's going to get flower a bit more efficiently. Oh no, flower, I'm looking. Yeah, no, I think that works. So we're importing flour right now. We're not actually importing it from the flour mills or something. So you think they would come over here. Okay. Well, maybe flour wasn't the right choice here. I'll put it on empty anyways. But what I'm looking for over here is zoned forestry products. Yes, and then we'll do zoned... zoned farming products. And we'll put it on empty. Because we don't want to hold them. Because we have farming and forestry industry over in this side. So it needs somewhere to hold sometimes before it gets shipped out. So we'll just have those available. But over here with the flowers, so my thinking was that maybe there wasn't enough, you know, call outs for flour. So I wanted to put a warehouse over here so that it would call out for flour. But silly me, I was thinking we were producing flour over here, but in fact we're just producing the crops over here, and the flour is being produced over here for the bakery. So what we're gonna have to do though is, since we've actually gotten our farm to level 5, is we can now have these larger flour or crop things, crop silos. So we're going to just delete these old ones. I know it's probably not the most efficient way to do that, but that's okay. We're gonna place 2 of them down. We do have some crop issues, so why don't we place that many down? And then what we'll do is I'll just get a touch of industry right in here just to kind of fill it out. And we'll put these all on balanced. I'm so confused now because I was just, you know, coming to terms with how it's supposed to work with the mod. But now that the mod doesn't exist anymore, how does the vanilla thing work? I guess we're importing crops, it looks like. It doesn't really tell me how things are going. All right. Where are you getting yours from? They're coming in off the highway. Very strange, very strange. The mod was really helpful in that, and kind of understanding where you were getting your materials from. So it looks like these people were driving, so that's good. And they're also getting it from the highway. Oh geez. Anyway, so we'll leave it at this for now, but we may need to revise it later on anyways. So now let's actually get to the high density because it's been a little too long. I just wanted to fill that up. And before I forget, with the Surface Painter mod, it just looks really nice if you just fill it all in like this. Fantastic. Okay. So let's get that high density in, and we'll get some roads in as well to kind of fill in this space. So I don't really want to connect to this road because that is a pretty busy road, and it just doesn't seem like the best idea to do that. So what I'm thinking is this is the high school road. This is actually a city road. Why don't we? I don't think it's the worst idea in the world if we connect to this road though. Although I could just make it work off of these two. Yeah, let's leave the roundabout kind of to itself. So let's go off of this one. Let's turn node snapping on. And let's go about halfway. We'll come back down, connect up into there. Maybe we can do something like that. And I guess we could connect right up to this little corner right here. That's not the worst idea. I know I said I wasn't going to, but that's a pretty good idea to do it like that. And then that's where we would connect. Yeah, let's leave that because holy cow, the traffic. I think I might have made a mistake here, folks. Because I guess they're coming out now and they're having to do like a full loop. And it's on empty too, so they're just temporarily being held here. Oh my goodness, look at the traffic jam. Very funny, very funny. Okay, well, we can leave it. We'll see what happens with it. Let's see where everyone's going, actually. Whoa, okay. Pedestrians, cyclists, private vehicles, transport trucks, city services. Get rid of those. Aha, so it looks like we are actually shipping things for this area now. I don't know if that was because of this. Looks like there's some trucks going down there as well. Yeah, I don't know. We can always change this from being flour to something else. Like unique factory products, although we do have unique factory products somewhere over here. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll leave it for now. This area was supposed to be warehouses anyways. Then we also have the crops now. That's also probably where a lot of the shipments are going. So, I mean, that's good. Anyways, let's get some residential. So I know I said we're going to do some high density, but let's start off with some low density. And let's see, right in here, this is a tough one because I don't really think people should necessarily live on this road, nor this one. So let's start with the low density. This would be loud, wouldn't it? Holy cow. But we're going with the theme. So we'll do that. And then we can get some pedestrian connections or something into here. I do like the idea of low density on this part. So let's get a nice house right in there. Right in here. Do that. I think we can just go with one house. That's fine. No, let's do that. We'll fill that up. So I'm just trying to create some nice squares. Fill that just like that. And then there we're good. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn zoning off of this road. And then what we can do is take the zoning out. Whoops, wrong one. And I think I'll be able to just extend this into like a bit of a little small cul-de-sac, just like so. I'll grab the movement mod and I'll just extend this out like that. And there we go. We got some larger houses now. Let's go back and we'll take zoning off of this road. Don't mind zoning on that road, so we can leave that. All right, fantastic. And this is the park, so we'll leave that side. So we'll let that all zone up. And actually, let's revise this bit right in here, and this part right to there. And we'll go high density. And then perhaps what we can do is maybe also make this street high density. So let's delete these. Let's throw it to 3-speed. And then we'll also do this one as well. And let's make it this whole block. So let's get some pedestrian connections through here before things grow too fast. So maybe let's bring it back down in speed. And we'll just do that. Very nice. And then we can get these buildings back in here. And over here where we're going to do something a bit more lazy, a bit more meandering. So we'll start from right here. Let's turn node snapping off. Kind of do something like that. And then maybe we connect up in here and just bring it right down in there. That's nice. And why don't we go into the trees? We'll find our live oak. We'll go back down to a single brush and we'll fill that in like that. Very nice. Looks like traffic has calmed down a little bit and seems to be a bit more organized. All right, I think maybe we go high density for over here as well. Alrighty, and then right in here, let's also do a nice little connection here. So let's turn our guidelines off in full, because I would love it if we could sneak the path right down here and then do something like this. Go back to the live oak and plop that in just like so. All right, It's like a good little mix. See, this building's a bit too tall, so I'm not a fan of that one. But these ones are perfect. This is exactly the kind of style I was hoping for. So we're gonna let them come in, and if we see that really tall one, I'll just delete it. But yeah, okay, so let's continue with some zoning. So along here, this is an area where I really envision high density housing. So what we can do is actually go into find it, go right into here, we'll go high density, and these ones, the Art Deco, are the ones that I really like. So I think we should go sort by 4x4. Yes. Yeah, so I really like these ones. I think these ones are really cool. And we'll leave a space between them. I think it'll look rather nice to have this be all uniform. So I'll just take out this little bit right in here. Now I know it's not maximizing the space, but it's going to look like a developer built this all at once. And they're going to be a lot older style buildings, which is perfect. So I'm just going to make them all historical so they don't change. There we go. And let's add in, let's add in low density right in here. We'll go a little bit of a corner piece like that. And then we'll go back to the low density. And then right in here, I think we can get a few shops. I think this whole block actually could be some shops. Yeah, a bit concerned with the traffic, but I think it's just to do with the amount of pedestrians that are using this area. Holy moly. This is amazing. Everyone's walking, but it's blocking traffic. They're getting in their cars over here too, which doesn't seem to be helping. I don't know if you can stop that, so let me know if you know a little trick. But yeah, very nice. Looks like things are really starting to bloom in the city. All right, and then right in here we have a little spot. I think this is also a good area for some high density. Right behind the path, you know? Maybe let's make them a bit smaller. And then I think I want to rezone right in this whole block. We're gonna take out a ton of industry by doing this though, right to here. But I think this is gonna make for a bit of a better transition in my mind. Take that in. We'll add some more residential in here, and then this will also allow industry to actually fill up the forestry area that we have planned over here. So let's just help this out a little bit. We'll speed it up by deleting it by hand. And I don't mind the industry over on this side. I kind of like how it kind of looks like some vacant lots. But also I like the warehouses. I don't really love them all being vacant lots, but you know, they kind of fluctuate a lot. So all right, let's get this one to be low density, and then we'll go with a bit of high density mixing. Fantastic. So bring this all down, and I like leaving a little bit of a space between the high density and the low density, because it kind of leaves like a bit of a gap that would exist in real life. Oh, look at that building. That building is perfect. Let's leave that one. All right, this building is definitely not to taste. None of them are. Let's look for a 4x4 commercial building. Oh, a little cinema, that could be cool. What's this one? A little Denny's, it looks like. Let's go for the cinema. Why not? I don't know where I placed that. We'll see when it comes up. Hey, there we go. Look at that. That looks awesome. All right, why don't we just detail this ever so slightly? So let's grab just an iron fence, and we'll go from there to here. No! Oh no, what did I do? I was building without collision. Oh, silly Steven. Let's go straight, guidelines, node snapping, right down like that. That works. Okay, let's not make this mistake again. Let's just not connect there, that'd be nice. Let's go right into here. Guidelines off, back to fences. Okay. We're not gonna break it. There we go. Now I'll bring this all the way down to here. Why not? And there we go. Got a cool development. Hey, fantastic. This is another great building. These are the kind of styles I was going for. Now, every now and then, the tall one, I don't mind. This is the tallest that I think we'll get. But see, we have two. I don't think I like this one. I think it suits that area a bit more, so I'll delete that. Especially because we're kind of dipping downwards as well, which is great to see. Got a bit of a traffic jam through here, but it'll probably clear up once this light goes. So perhaps we might need to revise that. Maybe a roundabout or something. No, not a roundabout. Let's do a bit more revision of the high density through here. So I'm thinking right along the train line we get high density. So I'll take this all out and we'll place this all back in with high density. But I think the rest of it is fine to leave. All right, so we're still getting some issues getting crops here. It's rather strange, to be honest. Why don't we take this and we'll plop this down right in front of it. Maybe we'll get some more crops. And while we're kind of thinking of it, why don't we add a bit more to the area? So we'll go with the large orchard. Whoa. Let's go with apples. And if we extend that a little bit, because if we do a second one, it's just going to start going up there a bit too close. So we got that one. We also got this one. Let's go with this one. Apples again. Nice. Yeah, I think we're good there. So let's select this tree. I think we can actually just use our forest brush. We'll try to blend it in a little bit better. There we go. Hopefully that produces more crops. And we've kind of finished off the Mayberry farm as well. I really like how that looks right through there. Let's do some more rezoning. And we're right in here now. Let's take this block out because it seems to be having some issues. And we'll make this block a commercial block, as we were doing yesterday. It's good to kind of mix it up, especially with the buses right there. It's not the worst idea in the world. All right, now how we're going to get some high density down in here? Well, I think high density would be pocketed around the train station and then the main streets. So I think this block right in here is prime for redevelopment into a high density zone. And then we'll do a few of these as well. And then we're not going to make it uniform. So we'll take that out. And then over here we'll do the other side, but we'll do a bit more. So it kind of shows that the area is perhaps, gentrifying or something like that. All right, so we'll see how that kind of looks. So that's this area through here. Let's go over to the other main street of town, which is Assiniboine over here on this side. So let's do the same thing. So we'll go with some rezoning. Yeah, see these small houses? Yeah, I think we'll rezone them into high density. And then over on this side, we'll do the same. But just a little bit, And how about just this one house over here? Got bought up by a developer. And we'll make it into a high density, but we'll make it a bit smaller. Okay. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like how it's kind of turning out. Alrighty. And how did this turn up? Yeah, pretty nice. I really hate this building, but I know that we kind of grow out of it. So now that we've done that, we're gonna have a lot of time for this to all zone in. I'm really glad that we kind of started filling out Greenberg before we kind of extended out into more a few different types of things. Okay, what are we missing here now? Crops now. Holy cow. Should we put these on empty? Maybe. Maybe not all of them unbalanced. Ah, man, I'm a little frustrated because the mod was so good. It did such a good job at making sure that crops were sent out to warehouses that were close to production facilities. But this is the challenge by not having the flour mills in the farm area. And we're also having crop issues with our animal products as well. So it's very interesting, very interesting. Okay, so as we kind of wait for that to fill in, and we wait for some of this all to grow up, and we wait for our demand to get back, because there's a few other areas that I want to add some low density. Let's look at improving the bus stop. So there were some great suggestions on keeping the loop. However, I think that this area is probably going to see a bit more than we currently have, and a bit more than just the simple rural loop will kind of be able to hold. So we're going to make a custom bus interchange area, bus station. And we'll also improve the walkability in the area, which were other great suggestions. So there are the bus stations that we could do, just like that. We plop it down. I mean, that could work. It's a bit big and a bit more modern than I was looking for in this area. So I mean, that could work. We could also go with, you know, a bus hub as well, but I think a custom bus is probably area is probably the way to go. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into the bus roads here, and let's just start with the 2-lane 2-way bus road. And what we're going to do is basically in this area from this interchange to this interchange, like in between here, we're going to have 2 connections. We're going to bring it out like this, and we're going to have bus stops in the middle. So they're going to be able to pull in, and people are going to be able to get on their buses. So yeah, so let's go in the same spot because I don't want to really mess with that too much. Let's make sure we have our guidelines on right off this node. And we'll bring it out to about the same distance. So let's go 10 units. Let's do the same thing. We could go right off of this node actually. No, let's go right out to here. 10 units, bring it in. I think should this just be a one-way? Then they go out that way. That might be a little bit better. So one way, and then what we're gonna do is one-way, one-lane bus. Fantastic. So we're gonna have them kind of, so we have 2 options. I think we're gonna go into the middle here. Let's go from about here. I think we need the middle road first actually. So we'll cycle them down into here and back. So that means we need to bring this one down. That was about 5 units, 6 units. Okay, let's just do it by hand. I'll bring this one out. All right, so the buses are going to come into here, and then they'll have this kind of lane to cycle through. And then what we'll do is we'll have multiple spots along here where we can connect up. So I think I'm just going to do it like this. About 50 degrees. Okay, that works. 50 degrees. Fantastic. I think we'll be able to get 2 more. This one's gonna scooch over a little bit. $46. We'll have to work on this one a little, just a touch. Whoa, I thought I'd move it. Alrighty, so this one will also have to just move ever so slightly. And yeah, so we're kind of doing it a bit interesting, to be honest. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip them around. So they're like this. So the buses will come in, and then they'll turn into their respective stops. So they can keep going. So let's make them all dedicated turning lanes. Even though I think the buses can just ignore the turning lanes. But, you know, we'll keep it as realistic as possible. And I guess this one here can just be one lane. And then they'll slide into here. And then they'll turn off. So perhaps we make this one 2 lanes. Whoops. There we go. Let's do a bit of work with this. You know what? Let's do it by hand. So this one, I want them to go into that one. This one here. This one, don't really mind where they go. And yeah, it's pretty close to being even just by kind of eyeballing it. The 2 ends are a bit off. So why don't we try and bring them in a little bit more? Just swing it out a little bit. I think the buses will be able to make these turns. Perhaps I'm making them a bit too... Maybe I'm making it a bit too tight. And the reason why we are doing it this way and in this direction instead of doing it from the other direction, it's kind of the direction roundabouts work in a way, kind of like this. So, and also buses will then be able to quickly cycle out into the town. We also have this this method now as well. So I mean, we can try this. I think it'll work. I don't really see a problem with its functionality. Maybe it could probably look a little bit nicer, to be honest. But I guess maybe what we need is to make these actually 2 lanes. This one can be 1. These ones will be 2. Yeah. Alrighty. So let's just go into Traffic Manager here and just make sure that everything is a-okay. Yeah, they will go over there. They all turn. Okay. Alright. So I think I'm ready to just kind of move the bus stops over. And I think I'll probably play around with this in the future anyway. So this is the school bus. Let's put the school bus stop over here. This is the pink city bus. This is the school bus as well. Do we want them to share a stop? Let's see why not. It's the same line in a way, although we could probably have 2 different lines now. Let's think about this for a little bit as we kind of detail this area up. So let's just fill in the area with pavement. I think that's probably what would happen. I suspect this area would probably be paved in. Alrighty. And then what we can also do is we can also add the taxi stands. They're kind of fun. And you can slide them in right here, and they're kind of like bus shelters. Let's pop that one down, then we'll grab it and we'll rotate it right onto here, and then we can just readjust them so that they fit a little nicer. And people will actually also use these for taxis as well, so we'll see taxis actually use this, which could be interesting. I guess this could actually be a stop over here, because I don't think there's going to be many through traffic at all, to be honest. So we'll let this be possible for, I mean, at least I hope there isn't going to be through traffic, because it's not the point. So let's turn zoning off of these roads. And this one too. Let's see if we can get a few shops in here. Let's run in the ends. And then what we'll do is we'll grab the concrete path and we'll run a few paths down. to the road, and hopefully as the area grows, we'll see more people use this area. As we get more buses too, because right now we only have a couple. So we'll see all the buses freak out for a little bit. But let's see how they kind of use it. And this style of bus came from a suggestion. They posted a link to something that they wanted to see in a city, and this is kind of like it. It's a bit different than what it was. So I believe JMWZ kind of showed this style of interchange that they wanted in this the city. So yeah, that worked out great. We got some commercial over here as well, which will be nice. And why don't we get like some park assets over here as well, so we can get like restrooms. So why don't we place this right over here? Yeah, right there. And we don't really need a cafe or anything like that. Nothing of the sort really, but why don't we get some planters? That would be nice. Kind of help the area look a little bit nicer at least. I'll try to place them. Oh, autosave. Timing as I'm trying to do some detailing. Let's place these kind of right in the middle here, in between, kind of lined up right in front of each little interchange section here. Do the same thing this side. They're a bit off-centered though now. So perhaps we can work on lining them up then. I think maybe the farther out we go, the better it is to see it, to be honest. Fantastic. Okay, so looks like the buses will actually fit in here too. I mean, it looks like it didn't try to fit, but it could fit. Yeah, I mean, so it looks like the buses probably clog up a little bit, fortunately, especially since we're sharing lines. But it looks like they're all using it properly. And then look at this turn though. It's a bit of a sharp turn there. Maybe what we can do is we can add like a slip lane for the buses into here. So what we can do is we can delete. Oh, I guess we'll need to downgrade this. This is a highway piece. Why don't we actually make it road like that? And then what we can do is then make a bit of a slip. So we'll go back into the buses. We'll go with the one way. So I'm going to pause the game while I do this. We'll bring it out a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll curve it right in like that. I'll then just use move it to kind of make the nice curve. Let's do it like that actually by hand. Alrighty, so we're gonna need to take out this. Let's delete that. There we go. Let's go into node controller really quickly. Let's square the node up. Let's bring this over. Just like that. I think that works. Stretch this out a little bit. Let's go into traffic manager, and what we'll do is we'll just turn off the crosswalk, and we'll say just go through. So I'd rather not people cross the street right here. And I guess we could also detail this area up a little bit. So if we go from this side, what it looks like is that would need to go like that. And then we go there. That works. And then we need this to go like that. All right, fantastic. So the buses will have to yield here, so we'll have to make sure that we do that. Yield. And honestly, this can be a free-for-all. Oh, and we need to fix what this looks like. So let's go delete. And then this one can go into here or here. Because I'm not sure down the road we might need buses to go down this way. So we'll leave that be. And then over here, they just go into that lane. And this one can go into there, or there. So we don't really have a need for it anymore, or at this current time. And it looks like we'll probably need to ban cars coming in here. So private vehicles cannot come in this way. Let's go into node controller. That's not node controller. There we go. Square the node up, and let's actually just make it much bigger. So let's go 15. Yeah, that'll work. And we won't do dedicated because the buses don't really need it anyways. All right, so let's go. Also go to 15 over here. Gas station, eh? All right, so right in here, you know, we could make this some shops and stuff, but I think a park would go a long way in this area. So let's go in this. Let's hope that this small park asset fits in here. It doesn't, but does the playground asset fit in here? It does. Ah, it doesn't. I mean, I don't think a playground really works thematically in this area, but the asset works out pretty nicely. So it doesn't really work. I think the trees are just a bit too big, so let's delete that. And let's try to rework it with a smaller park feature at the center of it. We could go with a plaza instead. Kind of right there. Not the biggest fan of that one either. The Paradox Plaza, though. If we place this right here and fill in the rest with the concrete, I wonder how that would look. So go concrete. Yeah, it also just kind of looks a bit strange. So let's delete that as well. And I guess the last option we have is to place down a small park asset. Like the dog park or the tropical. Oh, that's not it. This. So I think the dog park might be the only viable option, because it just blends in so well and we can get paths around it. And I wouldn't really want to take my dog here, to be honest. So let's also delete that. Holy cow, what a waste of money we're doing. Just trying to find a nice little thing, because like honestly we could just make it like a simple basic path park, and I think that's probably what we're going to do. So we'll do this manually. We'll turn off node snapping, which already was. We'll turn off our guidelines. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of do a bit of a crisscross. With some dirt paths. And let's just grab this middle node here and let's try and center it. And then we can add in some nice... why don't we make this actually paved? Let's maybe go with the trees. Oh, why don't we go with the zoo path? Hey, now we're thinking. Okay. This one a bit more forward. And then we'll go take a look at how the high density is looking, or medium density. And then we'll call it. So let's go back down to single. Holy cow, that's those are some big trees. Okay, let's go back to our second tree, the young linden. I think that kind of works pretty nicely. It looks like it's like a newer area, and the trees are still rather young. So let's go over into the parks. There we go, and over into here, and let's get like a food truck going over here, something like that. Yeah, I mean, that works. And I wanted to get some picnic tables over here as well. We could could go with like a gazebo in this area, but no, I don't really think that kind of it's the vibe I'm going for with this park. What other assets do we have? Ah, you gotta have the newspaper stand in the bus area. Oh, why don't we place that somewhere in the middle? Where's the middle? I think this is about the middle. So we'll place this newspaper stand right here. And let's go back to the park. And let's grab the pop soda. We'll do that right here. So I guess we could also probably get some picnic tables. How's the nature reserve picnic table? Is it the square one? It is the square one. Perfect. Okay. So we'll get some of these placed around. Now the nice thing about placing these picnic tables is in real life, they would be kind of like askewed because people move them around a little bit. So it's nice to not be so formal with it. This is not the kind of building I was hoping for here. So why don't we pause the game and go back in to find it here. We're in commercial already. We go 3x3 and let's find like a McDonald's. There we go. Fast food. It's kind of the vibe I was kind of thinking in this area. And we got a gas station. I also don't really like the gas station, to be honest. So let's go back out of here. It's also 3x3. What's this? This is like a Denny's. Don't know what that is. I'm not looking for the university buildings at the moment. Let's try this one. What is this? It's hard to see with the way the sun is on this map. Alright, so let's throw it to 3-speed. We got McDonald's. Or Burger Bites. Or is this the pancakes? This is the pancake house. Okay, nice. Love it. And let's get a few more picnic tables out this way. You know, one for the employees over here. Then we get a couple over on this side. And then what is this building? A bowling alley? Alright. We can leave the bowling alley. Oh no, it's all messed up. We'll just try. I'll fix this all off camera to make it seem a bit nicer. Anyways, we can leave the bowling alley, I guess. Okay, so that turned out pretty nicely. Oh no, the bowling alley. Okay, we are gonna need to turn zoning off again. There we go. And let's try one more time. Let's go with this one instead. Just like a Denny's. It looks like Sally's. All right, fantastic. So holy cow, went over time. This is going to play out a bit nicer for us in the long run. We'll do some look at the bus lines later on, but let's swing over here and let's check out the high density, how it turned out. Yeah, this looks fantastic. This is exactly the style of high density housing that I was really hoping for. There's a bit more detailing that we need to do in this area, but yeah, that looks great. And then over here, the rectangle about is kind of filling up a little bit. We might need to think about changing up this. And then over here, the high density looks pretty nice. I like the uniformity of this build, to be honest. And then we also had some high density over on this side. That also looks nice. All right, fantastic. So let's end the video. Oh, wrong thing. Let's end the video right here. And we'll kind of go with a bit of this. Some medium density housing. Let's try and just get a nice centered screenshot. Awesome. Have a great day, folks. Talk to you on Friday. Peace out.